Hey guys, it's Owen with Bleepin' Jeep, and today we're going to be revamping our relay box.
Alright, I'm going to go pop the hood and we'll see what we're working with today.
Alright guys, so I'm just going to give you a quick overview of my old relay box that I had installed before you get to work on this new one. One of the biggest things we're going to be changing is the size. So this right here is what we're working with, and it's a waterproof outdoor box you can buy at Walmart. They're probably between $10 and $15. This is one of the smallest ones I had. And if we open it up, inside you can see we have a fuse holder with these mini fuses, and basically you can change them out for whatever size you need based on your application. Right here is our main power wire coming in. So we have a power wire coming in from the battery, which is, I'm pretty sure it's 10 gauge amp wire for a subwoofer, but one of the biggest things I'm going to be upgrading is this wire. I'm going to go from 10 gauge to 4 gauge. Thick red wire splits off into these smaller power wires which go into the fuses, and they come out as blue wires that each connects to one of the 5 relays. This last red wire that goes to the 5 amp fuse, this is what powers all 5 of my switches for the relays. The power wire for the switches is ran with this trigger bundle that goes to the relays that sets them off. That way when I run my switches, I can just have one wire bundle going through the firewall into all the switches, so it's all just plug and play. Behind the fuses is the relays, which I have 5 of them. They're just all taped together so that they're nice and neat. This box works really well for a smaller system. If you ever needed up to 5 switches, this would probably be the way to go. You just have one grounding wire that comes out and attaches to a bolt on the chassis that grounds all of your relays and your switches. These yellow wires right here are the outputs of the 5 relays, and they all just have a quick connector on them, so if I ever want to plug anything in, all I have to do is run a wire from the accessory, plug it into the yellow wire, and then ground it on the chassis. One of the biggest benefits I feel like this system has is that your power terminal on your battery stays very clean. I have a sub wire going into my amplifier, and then I also have a wire going to my relay box, and I have one other power wire because I have some things that aren't in the relays right now. The main goal is to keep your battery terminals clean. As you can see, I have nothing on the ground terminal. Everything is grounded straight to the chassis at the shortest possible distance, and that way to make it easier and much more clean of a system. Alright, another reason I'm going to be doing this new project and building a bigger relay box and overall just cleaning up the wires is because I feel like this is very messy. I have all of these wires running over here. I have all of these exposed wires over here. I've got a couple in some just wire loom tubing. And I just want to put all of this together, and that way if I want to add to it, I can just slip a wire inside instead of having to add about 6 more zip ties to everything. I just want to be able to clean all of my wiring up. Alright, so one thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stepping up the size of the box. So here we have the old one, which is the smaller size that they sell, and this is going to be the new one. The reason I'm going to be stepping it up so big is because instead of 5 relays, I'm going to have at least 8. And a bigger fuse block on the inside so I can run more wires to it and also have more power being distributed through this. Alright, so with my new project, I'm going to be installing this bigger relay box in this location. It fits very nicely right here in the corner, and the reason I've chose this location versus the other one is all of these wires along the side right here, those are going to be shortened, and instead of them all running back over there with triggers and switches, since my switches are right behind the driver's seat, all I have to do is run a much shorter wire bundle, so I'm saving wire and shortening it up, cleaning it up. I also don't have to put as much in a wire bundle when I run it across the engine bay, making it theoretically safer. So the only thing coming from the left side will be power wire coming into the box, and then also whatever light bars or electrical accessories that are going that way. Alright, so you're probably wondering what all of these colorful wires are and why there's so many and what these boxes are. Well, those are for my halo kits that I have in my headlights, and they come with a lot of extra wire, and none of this stuff is technically waterproof, so what I'm going to be doing is also putting all of this inside the box, which is another reason why I needed such a big area. I'm going to cut these wires to length so I don't have these giant bundles just zip tied together, and I'm going to shorten them up to length so I can just plug them into these splitter connectors. That way it's a much easier system and it's all housed inside that box. Just in case you're wondering what the halos looked like, this is what I have installed on my Jeep. I actually built them myself, opened up the headlights, opened up the pods, and I put all of it inside and then ran it to all the drivers and controllers on the inside. Alright, so the setup I have on the inside of the dash, I have 5 switches on the right that are each plugged into their own relay. And then I have 3 on the left. One of them's for the halo controller for my headlights. One of them's a sub turn on, and then one of them's an unrelayed LED strip that goes in my grill, which isn't really needed, but I'm gonna end up putting all of these on relays just to be safe. And if I ever needed an extra relay, I'm also gonna wire that in. I'm also putting, next to the red button on the left, I'm gonna put in a 3-position switch for a reverse light, so that way I can have on, off, or on with reverse. Alright, so now you guys kind of know what my project is. I'm going to take you through the steps on what it's going to take to change out that relay box, and it should be a pretty good overview on how to build a relay box in general. Just don't forget that you can build this in any size that you want with as many switches or as many components to this as you want. This is just going to fit my application, so if it applies to you, you can follow it, but if it's not, you can always build it smaller or build it to fit your rig. Alright, just so you guys kind of know like what my light setup is, I have custom built headlights with halos in them with also a pod light in the high beam. I also have a 24-inch light bar under the grill. Also down low I have a set of pods that also I installed my own halos in them. I also have a single row 20-inch light bar mounted on the bottom of my roller roof rack. I also got rock lights in the fenders as well as underneath the body. Alright guys, so that's my current light setup right now, and I want to just build the box to be able to fit all of that inside of it, everything be on a relay, and also have some extra ports because I'm also thinking about maybe a 50-inch on top as well as reverse lights that are wired into the actual reverse as well as a switch. So if I can put all of that on the relays and keep it clean and inside the box, that would be the perfect goal.